Greetings, gamers, girls, ladies, gentle germs. Radical Cleric here, Stormrisers.com forums. No official affiliation, just love.
Sega.
Whoop whoop whoop. This video is created mainly to help people who, didn't give Stormrise a chance, read a couple really lame reviews from guys that don't play RTS and didn't even learn how to play this game, and then gave it a shitty review and basically ruined a great game. Don't listen to those fools. A lot of people actually stayed with it and learned to play this game, and we're having an amazing time. And that's what I wanted to show you, so you know what you're missing, and hopefully you'll climb on board. Xbox has a good following. PlayStation 3 has a great community. I'm in that one. I think there's some guys on the keyboard and mouse too in the Windows Live networks. Get on the forums to find out when you can line up a match with someone. Just whip to my commander real quick, and then I'm zooming in here so that I can rally my pointer around that corner faster. Next I'm going to use indirect order to kind of shot put my infantry forward, and the pointer is right where I want my commander to go to, so I just tap that same button, move again, and he'll start running. It's all about timing right here. I'm trying to get to as many nodes as possible as quickly as possible. This is an RTS game after all. So you gotta learn those kind of orchestrative movements. You don't have to, obviously, but none of the reviewers even got anywhere near that level. And so they're really just, you can tell they didn't learn to play the game. That's why they didn't enjoy it. There are a few bugs, and I'll look for them in this skirmish, and I'll point them out if any of them occur, but really at high levels of play, none of the bugs even matter. I don't even notice them anymore. I hardly even see any. And every game has a few bugs, but it really was because this was such a revolutionary game that people couldn't see past the small differences, and they called every difference a bug, when in fact there's only a couple bugs and there's a whole lot of differences, which is why it's great. This is more kind of gambit based battle. You don't do a lot of micro to you don't do the same kind of micro, I should say. You can use micro, and you need to, and you do, and it's super fun, but there's also this element where your units just have an AI of their own. They choose what they're going to fire on in a certain situation, and if you learn to let them make the choice, you learn what choices they will make, and you can position your units accordingly. And it's more about tactical positioning. Crossfire comes into play in this game. There's a cover system. Really makes a huge difference. You can outmaneuver your opponent, and even if you have weaker units or less units, you can win that small battle. There's tons of upgrades that really affect the way your commander will perform. I have a railgun on his right hand, a chainsaw on his left hand for close quarters melee combat, and a mortar mount on his shoulders just for super long range and vertical attacks. He's also got a shield, a bubble shield on his suit. I beat the game on hard, which allowed me to it unlocks all those commander upgrades, and if you're coming online without those, you're gonna have a hard time, so you really want to play through the campaign and earn those upgrades. It's totally fun. Lots of people on the website too if you're having any trouble getting up that hill. Graham Daddy, shout out, what up? PS Posse. I should have been upgrading my refineries. This game is about economy. Any RTS game is going to have the economy involved, but I got rushed pretty quick, so I had to spend some money on some quick units. They weren't even the right counters. I would have rather sent something else at those rages than my prowlers, but they got there first and kept that node. I at least still own that node right now. even though I just barely got my energy, my economy back, and I haven't even upgraded all my refineries yet, which, you know, again, you want to try to do that right away, but you can't do it if you're being attacked. You need to protect your areas, and that's what I had to do. And there's this pause in the game. Like every good RTS game, there's going to be an ebb and flow, and the good players will see that and will use that and move in. The AI is pretty much always moving in on you whenever they can. But a good player would have pushed right there even faster, and if I had any army at that moment, I would have pushed, and maybe I could have cut their line of supply. It's real important in this game to try to, in any RTS game obviously, to hold down your enemy's economy. You can do that in this game very effectively by sneaking behind their enemy lines and cutting off their line of supply. This is really, when it comes down to it, and I've always loved the concept of battle chess. You know, a chessboard where you have these amazing units that after you move in it, if you take a square, then your unit will do this really cool animation and kill that unit, you know? And the more I played this game, the more I realized that they've done that, but even better, they've made the chessboard into these really awesome maps. But because of the limitations designed in the maps, it is like a chessboard. You can only move certain places, and where you move totally matters, and what unit you have at that place at that time completely matters. And so, you know, this game is just so revolutionary. People didn't understand it, and they played it for 2 days, for 2 weeks, for 20 minutes. They didn't quite get to the point where they're like, holy crap, there's levels and levels of incremental RTS play in this game that if you get good at it and you're playing against other good players, you're going to have a crazy time. And I'm not really getting too cinematic in this skirmish, but in a lot of my games, you know, I just do a lot more cool camera work, because a lot of this game is just about looking at these awesome units and these cool perspectives that you can get. And because that's part of the game play, you really want to get a good point of view. You want to get line of sight so that you can see what your enemy's doing. In fact, you can't see what they're doing unless you have line of sight. So that's another thing that a lot of the players just couldn't get past. They are so used to the god top-down view, which you have in the topographical map, but I don't go to it in this demo, that they couldn't play this third-person perspective and get a feel for the whole battle. But this game allows for that. When you see all those icons and you learn the maps, you know what those units are and what they're doing and where they are. But it takes time to memorize the maps, and you have to play through them a bunch to get to that level. Now here you can see I have 2,000, almost 3,000 credits coming. That's that score on that lower bottom. And that's where I should have been spending my money, and you can see all those red icons moving. That's my enemy, and so they're pushing, and I was just sitting there enjoying my mortar mount, and that's gonna cost me the game here. That's when the tide really turned.
Prowlers ready to go.
Move!
Ready for action.
Seeker activated and standing by.
Advance. Watch your back.
Seeker ready.
They just start outnumbering me here, even though I'm gonna try to get them in crossfire.
Seeker ready to go.
And I do win this little gambit, but
Seeker awaiting coordinates.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost.
a lot of my infantry, because I sent them too far, they just kept running, and instead of stopping and firing, a lot of people want their infantry to do that. And you know, potential future patches, DLC, maybe something like that'll change. They were trying to do some balance patching, but there are no patches coming for this game right now. But you know, the first patch coming through wasn't gonna fix any of these animation bugs that you might see anyways. It was just a balance patch, and it would have made the game a little slower, maybe a little funner for certain commander stuff, but the way it is now, it's really tight. It's, you know, you really got to watch the health of your units, and that's what micro RTS players are into anyway. Plus, you just get great shots like that. Like, you don't see stuff like that in any other RTS game. Just down at that angle where the bullets are sparking off of the hood ornaments of your buggies. Come on, that's just too cool. I get another good shot here with these sentinels
Make it
coming
a
up. Because their special ability here, you open that up in the playbook. Their special ability is to dig in, and they mount these. That's the playbook there, and they mount their little hand turrets, and just start popping at range.
That's normal. Get moving, people.
Refinery has been upgraded. Installation under attack.
And that's another spot. I was just kind of watching them and having fun instead of really paying attention to the battle. I started getting more interested in just the cinematic effect of this game.
You can relax, man.
Unit lost.
And it probably cost me the game.
Installing turret.
It's a win-win situation.